Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vaidya's Chess Hub. And time for us to start our feedback session. Now, we are in the week where Diwali is around the corner, so we will definitely talk about your vacations and the days that you will that will be off for us on account of Diwali, of course. We will start with the video sent and shared by Master Itesh. He's shown us his win over a higher rated opponent. I wish to start with that. Hello, Chinmay is the first to join. Welcome. Then Vardhan, then Alan has joined us. Hello there. How are things in Kerala, man? I hope they are better. I'm really happy. At the moment, let me say, oh, Saurish is here. Jay has joined in with the ID Chessmate. Jay, we are going to talk about your participation, especially the improvement that you have shown, but there is more that can be desired from your games. We'll talk a lot about it. Who else? Purvesh Kulkarni is here. We'll talk about how you continue to play hastily at times. From the next week onwards, Purvesh, I'm going to monitor your games very closely because we want to bring about that one change in your game, which is to play steadily and avoid any kind of haste. Chinmay is well, what can I say? He is the one player that has shown massive improvements. Once the hub reopens, you are one of those shortlisted players that I am wishful will play in the tournaments, in the rated tournaments, as soon as there is any notification from the All India Chess Federation. Itesh, good morning. You should be excited, or rather, good noon, I should say now, in about 4 minutes. The thing is that we'll start with your video and then I'll continue with the feedback. That's important. Very good. Who else now? Oh yeah, the birthday boy. The birthday boy for Friday should be here. Alan says that things are bright now in Kerala, so which is great, which is good because that's what we want. Okay, we want to be free from this pandemic as soon as it is possible. And Itesh says, okay, so I'm sure. By the way, Itesh, there was a reason why I put your video second and we saw Grunt's video first. The reason was that you have explained it pretty well. I think you did a better job than Grunt when it comes to explanation. You used a good software, your voice is very clear, you have explained the intention behind your move. So I guess it is only better that we watch your video now. Arya Mahakal is here. Hello, good noon. Everybody, good noon now. It's 12. Granth is here. Bhargav is here. Bhargav, are you done with your exams, man? You were saying that some papers were pending last week. I hope you're done now. Ready to enjoy Diwali vacation. Yes, Itesh, I mean it. It's a compliment. You have done a good job. We'll start with that. In about 2 minutes, we'll start with your video. Let's see how many people are live on stream. Let's talk about your holidays. Hello, Vyang is here. Birthday boy. How was your birthday? You missed the tournament. Actually, I had suggested that Vyang could play the tournament. You know what? He could have celebrated the birthday, who knows, with a podium finish. That would have been great. But I think he was quite busy with his celebration. Bhargav saying, tomorrow is a very boring subject, history. So I did it yesterday. All right. So you can attend this session now without any disturbance. And history is boring, you think? Okay. Bhargav doesn't like history. And sir, my exams are going to end on 11th. Okay, 3 more days to go for Bhargav. He says the last papers on 11th. Okay. Vyang is all sorted out. Vyang is all sorted out because Vyang is going to go to the school only the next year. All right, Vardhan, I hope Saumitra is done with his exams. He played the tournament, right? I hope. But I suppose he can miss today's session because it's the feedback session. So, I mean, if he didn't play the tournament, quite likely that he won't be with us, especially if he's busy with some household work. That can happen. Jay says that he has Diwali vacations until 23rd. Okay, Kshitij, no problem. Guys, Kshitij has shared with us that he has got to study. So he will watch the stream later. Yes, of course, it will be on our channel. You can watch it later. Whenever you find time, Kshitij, all the best, let me know. The holiday, guys, from Thursday until Monday, I believe, you'll have holidays. All the days of Diwali, and I believe Monday is the last. So I will officially declare it on WhatsApp. No problem. I believe we'll have the holidays from the 12th to the 16th. Tentatively, that's what it is. Okay. I repeat, the holidays from the 12th, 1 to 12th until the 16th. 17th is a Tuesday. So that's probably when things will start again or restart. And hopefully, even better will be if the government allows the coaching institutions to operate from the 1st of December. So from the next month, we could get back to the hub, the background you see. Great. Anna is here. Anna, stay for the feedback. Something very important. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the Russian defense today. There are quite a few players in our hub who, as black, when they have the black pieces, they employ the Russian defense, but they immediately take the white pawn on e4. Well, that's not what you should do. You should play d6 and then capture the pawn on e4. Well, that's the way to go. I hope that you will learn a lot. Now let us start. I believe that we have enough people. Those who are with us, well, they are here on time, and I suppose now we will start with Itesh's video. Watch it closely, guys. Itesh has nicely explained his win over a higher rated opponent. I'm sure that you would love it. And after that, we'll start with our feedback. So here is Itesh's video. It's about 5 to 6 minutes. Enjoy.
Hello, sir, and my dear friends. Me and the higher rated player. My my ID is Itesh 2011. My opponent's ID is Botanical Knight. I am rated 1408 in Bullet. He is rated 1926. It was a Bullet game rated 1 plus 0. I played E4. He played C6. It is looking like a Caro-Kann defense. I played knight c3. He played d5, attacking the pawn. Well, it is defended, so I played knight f3. He played bishop g4, pinning this knight to the queen. I played bishop d3, supporting the pawn twice and developing the bishop. This is the best move made by the black a6. I attacked his bishop h3. He moved his bishop at bishop h5. I once more attacked his bishop g4. He played bishop g6. I played rook g1. I not castled in this position because these squares are empty. By the way, this pawn is hanging, so I not castled here. I played rook g1. He played e6, developing the bishop. I took his pawn. E takes d5. He played c takes d5. I thought he would take my bishop first, then take my pawn. But he took first my pawn, so I took his bishop. He took h takes g6. This pawn is hanging, so I pushed h4. Knight is supporting it. Now this pawn is hanging, but it's supported by rook. Knight f6. I played d3, developing the bishop, and developing the queen. After that, I will be ready to castle. He played knight c6. I attacked his knight by g5. There were three squares. 1, 2, 3. First was knight g8. Second was knight h7. And third was knight d7. He played knight d7. I played bishop e3. This is again the best move. Not the best, but he could attack b5. Then I played knight d4, attacking the hanging knight. He took knight takes d4. I took bishop takes d4. He He played rook c8. I played queen e2, pinning this pawn to queen. Pinning this pawn to queen. It is an absolute pin. Now I am ready to long castle. I long castled, but at the time he not short castled. He played queen a5. I respond with a3. Whether after some moves he will take, I will take, and he will control my back rank. It is not a checkmate, but I would remedy this my back rank. So I played a3. He attacked my pawn and knight as b4. If I would take, he will give a check and again it's my back rank. Well, it's not a checkmate. Knight can block, but it is my back rank. So I played knight a2. He took bishop b takes a3. I moved the pawn b3 because it was in an attack. Well, it's defended twice. Nor he will nor he will take nor I will take. So I push b3. He short castled. I played rook d2. It defended twice, now it's thrice, and attacked only once. He played bishop c5, hanging bishop, a pressure on a hanging bishop. I took bishop takes c5. He took with the queen. I thought he would take with the knight, but he took with the queen. Queen takes c5. Now it's defended thrice and attacked twice. I played rook g4, never to come queen on d4. He played knight d5. Well, it was a hanging. I would not take here because I had a fork and he would not think and easily take my rook. His queen will be gone. So he first give a check. Give it a check. Check comes first. I would take. There is two ways to take. First, rook rook takes d3 or queen takes d3. I took with queen. Now he would save his queen. He saved. I played rook g3 and bring the queen in the game to attack his queen and rook. He played queen c6 again. I played knight b4 attacking the queen. He played rook c7. Of course, he had less time, only 4 seconds. He was in a time pressure, but I had 25 seconds. I took his queen. He took the knight. Rook takes c6. Then I played b4. Of course, there are 4 seconds, but after the queen gone on only some pawns. Of course, this will not promote because the king is here. So he not played as it would be not a draw or a checkmate. So he was a timeout, and I am victorious. My rating My rating plus 12 and his rating got minused by 11. Thank you.
That's brilliant. Guys, that was brilliant by Itesh. I'm so happy. This he actually has done a very good job with this. That is awesome work, Itesh. Thank you so much for sharing this. Although next time remember that bishop on d3. Well, that's not a pretty sight. I'm telling you. It's always the idea with the beginner. So the bishop on d3. You look at the h7 square with the queen on h5. You want to checkmate fast. But if you put that bishop on d3 when there is pawn on d2, well, often that bishop on c1 gets jailed. So always remember that bishop on d3 isn't a pretty sight. But apart from that, one nice counting. I love the way you observed that your pawn on h3 was hanging after your opponent took h takes g6. So that capture was important. And then you realize that because the h file pawn took on g6, your pawn on h3 was hanging. I like that. If you have to be alert about what's new in the position after your opponent plays something. So it was kind of a discovered attack and you did not give the pawn on h3. You pushed it to h4. The knight was protecting it. Also, I like the way you showed the counting of how many times it was attacked and defended. Overall, it was a good way to win. And yes, as I have said, your opponent had 4 seconds and he blundered the queen because your opponent was not Samartha. Don't expect. Very nice. I hope that all of you have loved the way Itesh explained this game. I have no doubt. The way he, was dressed up, the way he was looking at the computer, explaining it, the way the screen was captured, it's beautiful. I'm sure that all of you would like to do the videos in similar fashion, if not better. So now Granth would have realized that the way he shot it with the slant screen, well, that was not so great. Compare it with what Itesh has produced. The production value was there. Yes, Saumitra, you can be back soon. Thanks for joining in, because you did not play. You played, right? You played the tournament, but you could have played better. But then do join soon, because I think I have a feedback for you. Yes. Yeah, he should have played queen takes knight, but he thought that there was his fork, so he pushed the pawn. Young says he should have taken that. Anyway, now let's go back to the feedback.
Hello,
We are done with Itesh's game, and let's now start with our feedback. So this is the first one. As usual, we start from the podium. Every time we start from the podium. Omkar sir, what can we say? Had a clean score. The performance was 2189. Now that is top notch. My highest performance is 2188. So that beats that by one. That's brilliant. Now, what we will do is we will talk first about the feedback. Then there is this, I told you, right? I want to show you how some of you are playing the Russian defense incorrectly as black. So we will deal with that later. Let's first start with the feedback one by one. I would have loved if Chinmay had been on the podium, considering that he is the one who's making great progress. One thing is for sure, watch how the performance rating is quite different for different people on the podium. Like Omkar sir, who is himself 2151 rated, his performance was 2189, which matched. But if you compare it with Datta, his performance was somewhere in the 1800. Well, that should be 1900, at least for him. And as far as Saumitra is concerned, yes, he came in third, but then look at the performance, it's in 1700. So you should notice why the performance rating is also equally important. Your rating, yes, it's important, but your performance rating also gives you a clear idea of how well you played in that event or in that tournament. All right, let's continue. My first feedback, as usual, what you will do is tell me who are these great people. This is punishment for Pragya by Rutu. So congratulations. I believe I saw Rutu in the chat. So Rutu, extremely well done. When I watched this, I was so happy for you. Pragya, this is my feedback for you. You are extremely talented girl, but what happens is you take things for granted. I've noticed that in your games. So it can hurt you big time, especially when a lower rated opponent just beats you. Look at the rating, guys. If somebody can type the ratings, would be great. Look at the rating, Pragya. You would not want to lose to Rutu like this. That is a very, very pinching checkmate. With the queen on c8 and your king on e8 can't do anything. Yeah, it was a great punishment by Rutu. And actually, Pragya was winning this game. Not that there was any problem. The queen took on b7. And then from b7, you can see the green squares they're highlighted, showing the last move of Rutu. So queen b7 to queen c8. That was the last move played by Rutu. And that's a checkmate. So Pragya, who was 1642, was given a beating by 889. that's 800 points difference. That is 800 points difference. That's big. That's huge. That's huge. So Pragya, next time remember you're an extremely talented student, but do not take things for granted. Such things can happen. Yes, okay, no problem, Pragya. Now this one is again for the players who don't use time. Again, it is for Rutu. This time I praised you, and now I think I'm going to ask you to play slowly. If you see, there are almost 2 minutes left, 1 minute and 50 seconds odd for you, and you've already reached a situation which is quite hopeless. Rutu, you punished Pragya, no doubt, but then your problem still remains that you have to learn to play slowly. You cannot be playing fast. You cannot be playing so fast. Okay? Chinmay, I'm going to come to you. Don't worry, you've not reached that stage yet. This is epic now. We will call such moments epic moments because now we are used to them and they kind of define Samartha nowadays. Samartha redefined. Again, 9 seconds and then you have 43 seconds. And here, Alan, why you should know that I was praising Samartha so much, there are two reasons. I told you one reason I told you in the chat already. Now, the thing is, I'll tell you why, is because you say that, okay, what's so great in that he was an exchange of a piece up, so he will win. I want you to understand from what stage he comes to this situation. Look at the screenshot. Alan, look at the screenshot. You will yourself agree with what I'm saying. Look at the screen. You both have queen, two rooks, minor pieces and pawns. He is not exchange up here. If at all, you are a pawn up in this position. Alan, listen close. Listen closely, attentively, meticulously. If at all anything, Alan, you are a pawn up here with him having 9 seconds. So don't grumble. When you are a piece up, you will win. Oh, but look at this position. From where? From what stage is he continuously battling under 10 seconds? From this position. You are a pawn up here. So it is Alan who should actually, I thought, Alan, you will win this. So you were a pawn up here. And from this position, Samartha battled and battled and battled and battled. And under 10 seconds, and Samartha won the game. He is developing a habit. He's developing this habit. And it's an irritating habit for the opponent. Because opponent will think that he is down and out. And just when opponent makes that mistake, well, Samartha is here to punish you. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's what is crazy about this. Next one, please. Now, this one is Kshitij versus Gopesh. This one is an example for Rutu and the players Pragya also. How to use time. I was happy the way Gopesh and Datta were playing. Of course, Datta won the game. But yeah, sure. I agree with Vihang. Samartha at times should show his games. Well, you know what? When the hub reopens, well, we'll still have some online sessions. By the way, I promise you that. 1 or 2 sessions will still remain online, while the other sessions will be conducted in the hub once everything, reopens. So on the online session, we'll have Samartha once come with us and share his skill with under 10 seconds. Now, Gopesh and Datta here, I was happy with the game they played, especially the use of time was so interesting. So Rutu, Purvesh, Pragya, Yatharth, all those hasty players, just watch this. This is the way you are going to use time. Datta is 2000 rated player and Gopesh is making sure that he actually puts in a decent fight. I like that. I mean, winning or losing, come on, nothing. I mean, that doesn't impress me. Put up a fight. Okay. Anyway, so I now hope that Alan, that you agree that it was brilliance. I mean, from pawn down under 10 seconds to victory under 10 seconds. That's something, right? From what stage is he continuously playing under 10 seconds? He was not under 10 seconds after he became a piece up or an exchange up. Continue. Next one, please. Now, this is for Yatharth, I believe. You can type the names of players. I think the player with the black pieces is Yatharth. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Pragya Dikshit was the recipient of this nice gift by Yatharth. Rayansh said, sorry Kshitij, why? Because, what's the reason? Got the spelling wrong or something? Yeah, okay. Now Yatharth, if you are with us, this is not the way, man. This is not the way. Somebody, time control please, for the black pieces. Now here, clearly queen is attacking the hanging knight on c6. Clearly. And there is a way to save that knight. But what Yatharth played is something that is shown with the green arrow. So Yatharth, if you are with us, or if Yatharth is not with us, then his friend could pass on the message. This is what I talk about hasty play. You can see in the screenshot, Yatharth can easily save the knight on c6. Not that it is not possible to save it or something. But you played rook b8 carelessly with well over 2 minutes remaining. Okay. So the thing is, you don't make such blunders, give away the piece, and then dig a hole for yourself, and then find yourself in trouble and then grumble chess stuff. Well, that's not fair. So, especially when you have time, Yatharth, I don't want you to make such mistakes. Okay, rook b8 is completely unnecessary. Again, somebody type in the chat, watch opponent's last move. I can't tell you how important such basic things are. Watch opponent's last move. The opponent's last move is queen b5, man. You can see the green color square. The queen was on e2. The queen was on e2 and he brought it to, Pragya brought it to b5. Clearly the queen has pinned the knight, attacking the knight. The knight is hanging. Watch opponent's last move. Thank you, Vardhan. Yes. Jay, Arya, thank you so much. By the way, opponents is with the apostrophe S. What's wrong with you guys? Opponent's last move, apostrophe S. Jay got it right. Jay gets punctuation marks right, but he misspells Vihang. It's amazing, ironic. Anyway, so remember that. Next one, please. Now, this one is again a great example of how to put up a fight when you get an opportunity to play against great players, good players, strong players. Watch our friend Saumitra, who's playing with his ID Science0930. I hope he's here. If he's not here, Vardhan, pass it on to him later. We actually praised him. Of course, he lost this game. He did not win. And now Jay is saying that I have practiced. By the way, now Jay, practiced is spelled with S-E-D, not C-E-D. So, when you use practice as verb form, you should do it with a S-E-D. Now, this one is Saumitra versus Omkar sir. Yes, Saumitra lost it. But again, a 1900 player playing against 2151, he made the most out of this game. And as you can see, the material is equal here. I repeat, he is putting up such a good fight with about 24 seconds and 32 seconds. That is a good fight. That is no doubt about it. It's a good fight. Thank you, Vardhan. He said that you would pass on. Saumitra could have given us our first win against Omkar sir. Could have. 100% could have. At this stage, I was very happy. I was watching this game. In fact, this was on one of those top 2 boards that I show during the live coverage on Friday. I have no doubt that I was showing this game. So he was putting up a good fight. I was very happy. So yeah, well done, Saumitra. That was a good fight. Even Omkar sir enjoyed this fight. He did share it. So everybody, Purvesh, Yatharth, Pragya, Purvesh, hasty players, all those hasty Manas. This is the way you are going to use time. When you get a chance to play against good players, you will use time. Come on, put up a good show. Let there be some fight. It's okay to lose on time. Second win. No, not second win, Vihang. I am interested in 2 wins in the same tournament. So Omkar sir has been defeated once previously. On quite a few occasions, we have had 1 win against him. But lately, last Friday and the Friday before that, he is going home with a clean score. Got to do something about it, you guys. All the best for the next Friday, because this Friday, of course, will be holiday. Okay. Now, no problem. Next one, please. Now, who are these fine people? Arush. I think Kshitij should pass on this information to Arush. Come on, Arush. You are such an enthusiastic player. I'm not saying you're a good player yet. You're new. Come on. It shows in your games that you're not experienced. but you are very enthusiastic. You have got to channelize that enthusiasm into good games. And how can you do that? By taking your game seriously. Well, half the time you are behind Kshitij's game. Kshitij played well, Kshitij did this, all the best Kshitij, hope Kshitij wins. Well, Arush, okay. But if you have enrolled in the tournament, Arush Menon is important as well. Don't you agree? Arush Menon's performance is also important. Here, this game is nothing but comedy. This game is, I mean, a stand-up comedian could read out the moves in front of the mic and people will laugh. Those who understand chess in the audience. So he just fiancatoed this. Disan is the player with the black pieces. He just fiancatoed the bishop. You gave your rook on a1. He brought the bishop back, and then you played queen c1. Look at the move I've highlighted in the screenshot. Believe me, you Arush, you played the queen to c1 when his bishop is on b2. You did that. Believe it or not, you did that. The green arrow is the move you played. Guys, now you realize how dangerous and how careless he plays. He actually played the move shown with the green arrow. He played the queen to c1. But this bishop on b2, Arush, you can do better than that. Why give away your queen like that? You want to lose fast and then watch Datta's games? That's not fair. So if Datta, you watch this offline, well, you should pass on the message. He's enthusiastic, Arush, but he takes his games very lightly, man. Now this one is also for Anay. Now again, some people have to take efforts to type again in the chat. Watch opponent's last move, because our master Anay Avdhani does not do that. Does not do that. You can see the green colored squares. The queen was on f3 and queen took the pawn on f7. And your last move is shown by the green arrow. Knight to c6. Well, you should have put the queen back on e7 and you would not lose the pawn on f7. I think it's very important. Thank you, seniors, for typing that, and this time with correct apostrophe. Well, Arya has compensated for the earlier loss by typing double inverted comma. Wonderful, Arya. Fantastic. Double inverted comma, huh? It's not direct indirect speech. Okay, here, Anay, you should know that the queen and the knight were attacking the pawn on f7. Your last move was knight to d4 and it attacked the queen. Well, white wanted to move the queen anyway. So you forced Dishan, move the queen, take my pawn on f7. Why? Why? So think and play is the correct mantra by Reyansh. Well, Reyansh, let's see if we have a feedback for you. Turns out you could get that feedback as well. Who knows? Let's proceed to the next one. And now this one deserves a round of applause. This is brilliant. Guys, give sanitized claps or whatever it is that you want to give for Kunal Gupta. That is absolutely amazing. And let me now take Alan's permission to at least call this brilliance. He does not think that what Samartha did was brilliance. I still think it is brilliance. But let us check out what Alan has to say about this checkmate. At least this should qualify as brilliance, Alan. I don't know. But fantastic. He did not make queen. He had two pawns. The player with the black pieces is Kunal. He did not make two queens on the board. He did not have rook and queen on the board. He took the responsibility on his shoulders and checkmated with the knight and with the bishop. That was just fantastic. As a coach, impressed, and he came to under a minute. Now in the previous screenshots, Anay, I told you not to give a pawn free. You had well over 1 minute and a half remaining. Look at this time. The winner has only 46 seconds. So juniors have to learn this. Purvesh, you have to learn this. You have to play your game slowly. And Alan says, yes, this is brilliant. So thank you. Alan thinks that, yeah, at least something is brilliant. Yes, Alan, thank you so much. Kunal, you are lucky because somebody is brilliant according to Alan. This is brilliance, he says. So please, Anna, just remember this. Fantastic checkmate. I'm sure that even Vihang loved it. He did not make two queens, Vihang. He checkmated with the knight and the bishop. He did not take two queens. The pawn on a7 and b7. Duly noted. Now this one is one thing that the juniors should pay attention to. Again, we are talking about not using time and getting that queen horribly pinned on c6. Happens a lot when it is Scandinavian. Well, this is of course Scandinavian. You can see the moves there onto the right hand side. So e4, d5 did happen. What is not good is that this is Ayush's ID, Ant1008. Ayush Savan, I believe. So Ayush, you have well over 2 minutes remaining. Some people in the chat, is it 2 minutes 40 odd seconds? What's the time? Now, the thing is that you cannot be playing so fast just because your queen is attacked. You move the queen somewhere. When you have 2 minutes, don't move your queen in line with the king and get it trapped like it has happened on the screen. You see that. Okay. So very, very important. Guys, don't tell me to give you individual feedback. I watch all the games and sometimes the feedback is common for a lot of people. So no need to take names. No need to take names. So Ayush Chavan, I won't give you an individual feedback unless I feel that there is something that I have to talk about. But you can see what feedback applies for you. For example, watching opponent's last move, you don't do that. Using time, you could do better. So watch what feedbacks would be applicable for you. There are 100 students. I'm not going to take individual name every time. That's not possible. If I notice something, then I will definitely comment. You don't have to tell me, give a feedback for me. I'm a coach for all. You all are same for me. I will do it. Of course, yes. But then when I give the feedback for someone else, see to it that you also ask yourself, oh, sir is saying play slowly, don't play fast. Is it somehow applicable for me? You could ask questions to yourself and get your own answers. Okay. All right, no problem. Let's go on to the next one then. This is the feedback again for Yatharth. Here, Yatharth is the one with the white pieces, and Ayush again, Ant1008. He is the one with the queen and all, with the black pieces. What is bad here is on Yatharth's part, of course. The queen, the green arrows, the green colored square again. The queen came to b2. And now the queen is attacking the bishop. You see that you all see the red arrow there. The queen is attacking the bishop. Now technically queen is 9 points and Yatharth with the white pieces has got rook, bishop, knight and 3 pawns. I repeat, rook, bishop, knight. So that's enough compensation for the queen, to be honest. Yes, there is an advanced pawn on a3. I agree to that. Hello, Swaroop. Welcome. Now, Yatharth, what you do is, once opponent is left, and you do it in many games, as a coach I've observed that. Once you see that your opponent is a queen up, then versus queen, whatever it is that you have, Yatharth, you think that that's insufficient for victory. I mean, you can put up a fight. You can put up a fight. Queen is 9 points. Rook is 5 points. Bishop is 3 points. Knight is 3 points. Well, you have enough compensation here. What you carelessly did in this game is you played the move shown by the green arrow when the queen is just waiting to take the bishop on e2 that's hanging. You could have easily saved the bishop, man. You could have easily done that. So once opponent has queen, doesn't mean that you can, you actually just give up everything. Yes, I agree that this position is winning for black because of the advanced pawns on a3 and, b5. Yeah, queen is queen. But put up some fight. Position is not lost. And another reason why I want to convince Alan about the brilliance is that again here you have Yatharth who is under 10 seconds. But he is not Samartha under 10 seconds. So Yatharth lost the game. Now, it's quite easy. So Yatharth, don't just give up and throw the towel just because your opponent is a queen, man. Come on, put up a fight. Come on, put up a fight. Legendary, as Vihang calls it. Legendary. He says, let's call it legendary Samarth. Let's do it again. under 10 seconds. Unfortunately, Samarth did not win here. But this is the second student that I want to mention who made me proud that day on Friday. One was Saumitra because of his excellent fight against Omkar sir, and this one is Samarth. He did put up a good fight, brought Omkar sir to under a minute, and he also, as usual, Samartha standards. We'll call them Samartha standards. Is under 10 seconds, and well, he lost. Of course, he lost, but again, one of those nice things. Okay, yeah. Let's continue. Now this one is by Saumitra. This is a blunder by Saumitra. So Vardhan, I want you to make a note of this. All of you should appreciate Gopesh. This was a big surprise on Friday. Gopesh went on to beat Saumitra. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. Gopesh beat Saumitra. So you should give this feedback. He was winning. You can see what the computer says. When I analyzed this game, I was shocked. So Saumitra was winning here. Saumitra is with the white pieces, and Saumitra was winning. At this position, the problem was Saumitra took back the knight to e4. The arrow, the green arrow shows what Saumitra played. And later the queen and the bishop were attacking and only queen was defending. So he lost a piece and he went on to lose the game. But actually in this position, white is plus 6.3. You can see that. I did some analysis. Plus 6.3. Saumitra was totally crushing Gopesh here. Totally. He should have played the move suggested with the blue arrow. Bishop takes f7 check. And then things look okay. You can do your own further analysis later. So sometimes, winning, I go back to that statement I say so many times. Winning a one game, quite tough. You think that, okay, rook is attacking the knight, the queen is attacking the knight. When I take back the knight, I'm going to lose one piece anyway. This is that example of Zwischenschuk. What a lovely move that was. Bishop takes f7 check with the knight's support. Plus 6.3. There was no way Saumitra should have lost this game. But we will be fair on Saumitra. The point is that he was playing his first tournament after his exams, and that does have an effect on you, man. You believe it or not, chess is that game. When you're not in touch, you're not in form, but such things do happen. I also fail to see moves many a time. Okay, so very important that you do this. Bishop takes f7. Okay. When are we? This was on Friday, Swaroop. This is Friday. The deal is on Friday to beat Omkar sir twice. And I play, of course, every Tuesday. That's there. Tuesdays and Fridays sessions, they get to play with me and Omkar sir. So nobody won two games against Omkar sir. He was with a clean score, Swaroop. Clean score. You can check out all the games. You have this tournament there on Leeches. Anyway, let's continue. Now the next one is somebody not watching the discovered attack, and you should know who. Type it in the comment. Who is the one with the black pieces here? Isn't it Master Saurish? Saurish here actually did not pay attention, and Saurish, Vihang has his problems with pins. Kshitij has his problems with an unprotected king. Saumitra at times feels that intimidation against some opponents. Your problem, Saurish, is you don't watch discovered attacks. Noted, duly noted. This is a regular pattern that I've noticed, Saurish, in your games. Look at this closely. The green colored squares show opponent's last move, which is just a pawn push. Now the red arrow shows the discovered threat. The pawn moved, and then the bishop is now attacking the queen. Surprisingly, Saurish, you also are one of those good players but hasty players. Good but hasty. Like in Spider-Man, Peter is accused of being intelligent but lazy. You are also smart but, hasty. Unbelievably enough, because of the pawn push, the pawn is attacking, it's a fork. Pawn is attacking the bishop and the knight. The bishop is attacking the queen. You did not save any of them. Sauresh, you played the move suggested with the green arrow. Believe it. I said it. Believe it. I mean, the pawn is attacking the bishop and the knight. The position is lost, no doubt about that. But at least save your queen. If not your queen, well, the pawn is immediately attacking, say, one of the pieces. But no, you actually played pawn takes pawn. You actually played the move suggested with the green arrow when you have 2 minutes remaining, while your opponent, who turns out to be the winner, he went on to win the game, has only 25 seconds. So that shows haste is waste. Somebody. This is very important, okay? Pawn takes pawn. How brilliant is that? Next one, please. Oh, Master Jay, I need your 100% undivided attention. 100% undivided attention by Jay, the multitasker. Ooh, we will give him that name. Jay, the multitasker. Now, Jay, when you play the Alakine defense, you should always be mindful of this bishop takes f7 sacrifice. If you remember, Saumitra did try this against me. And by the way, I also fell in that trap. But I did show the correct way was to go king g8. I hope that next time you will not fall for this cheap trap. Saumitra also will be feeling very lucky to win against this. The moment against Alakine, you give that bishop on f7. Jay, if you are listening, you have to go with the king to g8. Don't worry about that pawn push on e6, because then you have to play the moves g6, get the bishop out. You don't get checkmated on f7, believe me. And the important move is queen e8. There are two important moves. Okay? One, you play king to g8. Don't come to e8. You played the move shown by the green arrow. You should have played the move with blue arrow. Another thing is play queen e8 so that there is no threat of f7 checkmate with a pawn or with a queen or something like that. Next, play g6, get the bishop to g7, and then on the earliest possible opportunity, drive that knight out with h6. Those are the scheme of things that you will do. Okay, very, very important. Quint essential that you do that. Please remember, don't play bishop d7. That's a very bad practice. But that queen d7, queen d5 check doesn't apply, Swaru. Well, that is applicable before playing that bishop d7. Jay unfortunately played this in a very wrong sequence. That's very important thing. I want all of you to actually go ahead and see this. I want to show this to you. Well, what happens is the way you deal with it is as follows. Every player who does play the Alakine defense should know this. If your opponent thinks that this is some trap, I'll show you this. Maybe plays the knight, then you play pawn, maybe plays the bishop, you go here, then there's sacrifice, you play this, and there's check. Okay, so watch this, is king g8, watch this now. I'm sure you're watching this, everybody. There's always this king g8 move. Jay, king g8, watch it, minus 3.2, that sacrifice doesn't work. Yes, your opponent will then threaten checkmate. Now there is checkmate threatened on, oh, not there. There is this checkmate threaten on the f7 square. So now you have to play queen e8. Remember all these moves that I suggested. Then he will go for this pawn push, because now the intention is queen f7 check, queen takes, and ooh, pawn takes checkmate. Pawn takes checkmate. That's not what we want. So then you play the move g6. The idea is to fianchet to the bishop, and now things look great for black, minus 3.3. Some comments, this is the way to play. This is short way of how you can get out or bail out of that bishop takes f7 sacrifice. This is very important. You do this. All the players with white will try this against black. I'm telling you, if you are a player of Alakine defense, you should know this. Very, very important. Very, very important. Queen e7? How's that possible? Queen e7, what? Okay. Very, very important. Let's get back to our feedback session. But Jay, I'm sure you've learned something. Please. Next one. Another culprit of not watching discovered. And who is it? It's Jay. Jay the multitasker. Jay the multitasker again. Jay, come on. You have been long enough in the hub now to fall for such cheap traps. Yeah, me again, right, Jay? You again. Yes, you again. Now, the thing is, your opponent has just pushed the pawn. He is attacking your rook. I mean, there's no danger. You should have simply played the rook to some safe square. But no. You took the pawn, Jay. You took the pawn and you gave juicy rook on b8, strengthening Gopesh's position, making sure that Gopesh wins the game. Jay, why do you do that? Who is this next girl? That's Kalyani. After Pragya, it is now Kalyani's turn to get a feedback of how to actually stop potential threats. Dear Miss Kalyani, watch this, Kalyani, watch this. I've talked about this enemy camp and our camp a lot of times. 1, 2, 3, 4 is white's rank, the white's camp. 5, 6, 7, 8 is the black camp. Now, the knight on b5 is already Kalyani in your camp. You should not allow that. But unfortunately, you did not see the threat. Don't think. Knight wants to take on c7, which will be a fork. And what you thought will stop it is the move c6, what you played with the green arrow. It's a very common error. They think that knight will be attacked and the knight will go back. Well, the knight wants to come on c7 anyway, whether you have the pawn there or whether that's an empty vacant square, whatever, because it will be a fork. So if Kalyani is, here with us, Jay, it's a positive thing for you, but Kalyani should learn, surely. So Kalyani, if you watch such threats, you will play better. You should have played something else to get yourself, secure yourself against that knight takes c7 fork. If Kalyani is here, type something in the chat, some comments. Kalyani, I think I saw your hello sir in the chat. So you are with us maybe. Everybody, the juniors especially, don't allow enemy pieces in your camp. And if they are, well, watch the threat and try to just chase them out. You cannot allow them in your camp. That's very dangerous. Next one, please. I don't understand why people go on a pause. Who is on a pause here? There are 2 people on pause. Arya Mahakal is with us, I'm sure. Arya, please ask your friend why he does this. Because this is the second feedback for him on the same point. Second feedback on the same point. You see 2 people on pause here. Kunal, the great checkmater with the king, bishop and knight. Well, if you are such great talented player who goes on to checkmate with the king, bishop and knight, why would you be on a pause? You could have won the tournament, Kunal. I was very positive about this. Don't forget that it was Kunal's screenshot we saw earlier. The checkmate with the bishop and the knight. So why would you be on pause? Why jeopardize your own chances of being on the podium? Come on. You could have finished on the podium, Kunal. You're a brilliant student we have. Come on. Play according to the standards you set for yourself. Alan has sent me a game and I will watch it, Alan, surely. I will watch it. I have a question for you, Alan. Is it brilliant? Is it brilliant, Alan? Is it brilliant? Okay, anyway, next one. And this is gift. Mohit Patil. Mohit Patil. If you are wondering, Datta, why he continues to get gifts from his opponents. Mohit says, let me give Datta the game. Let me give. It's a Swiss League tournament. And you give 1 point like that to your opponent. Man, that is criminal. Comment. Some seniors comment. This is criminal. He just gets 1 point like that. E4. Datta plays E4. Win. I mean, Bobby Fischer said once that play E4 best by test. But I'm sure he didn't mean this. Datta plays E4 and that's it. Opponent says take 1 point. Take one full point. No problem. And Mohit has later told me now that there was pest control going on in his house. So there was a lot of disturbance. Well, the simple thing I ask you is that if you know there are such things going to happen, why enroll in the tournament? Because when you give 1 point free like that, well, you are helping your opponent. Okay. Now, Alan is very, very modest. Alan says, sir, you watch the game, you decide if it is brilliant or not. Sure, that's modesty, Alan. I like that. I will watch it, Alan. I will. 100%. 100%, Alan. Okay. So I was saying that Mohit, you should not gift 1 point to your opponent. That's not fair. Come on, you cannot do that. And then they go on to win, the next round, the round after that. I am okay if you play and lose. Datta is in 2000s. Come on, he's a good player. But why gift him like this? That's not fair. He challenged me and not played a single move. Ooh. Mohit, feedback noted. What's up, man? What's up? And you joined this stream also late. Mohit, what's up, buddy? Next. Whoa, this is again an international standard move. International. And this is, I believe, for Namish the Great. Namish the fast player. Namish the berserker. So many times Namish will say, sir, make the tournament 5+3. He will always voice it along with Prajna. Make it 5+3. Make it 5+3. My dear fellow, look at the time that you have. How much time out of the 3+2 do you utilize so that you would have me believe that if the tournament is 5+3, you will play well. How do I believe you? Look at the time left. Your opponent has simply attacked the bishop 3 times. Remember, guys, at the start of this session, we praised Itesh. Remember, we praised Itesh about how he was counting, attacked 3 times, defended 2 times. You all remember that? Now here, Namish, guys, somebody type the timing left for black. Somebody, I cannot see clearly here. Yeah, but I'm sure what I see is that there is a lot of time left for black. So Namish has a lot of time left, and Namish should see for himself that bishop on e7 is pinned. On top of that, it is attacked 3 times, shown by the red arrows and circles, and is defended only twice. The bishop is pinned, mind you, already. And there are 2 ways shown by the blue arrow of how he could have defended. Thank you, Jay. 2 minutes 28 seconds remaining out of the 3 minutes game. And you would want Namish the tournament to be 5+3. Why? So when 3 minutes are allotted, 2 minutes remaining. So when 5-minute games are played, you will use only a minute and 4 minutes will be remaining. What's the point of extending the time control to 5+3? You tell me. If you are going to play like this, count how many times are pieces attacked and defended. Itesh did that in his video. We all praised him for that. You remember the start of this session? Why could you not have done that? Either knight could have gone to c8 or the c6 square and provided additional support to bishop on e7. At least show some intention. What you played was horrible. You just gave the piece away. So now you pushed the pawn to d5. Your next move, Namish, was you pushed the pawn to d5. How lame was that? How lame was that? I mean, clearly you are losing the bishop, Namish, and you are pushing the pawn to d5. That's not fair. That's not how you become a good player. Come on, watch such screenshots. And now, feedback for Nidhi. Nidhi is another player. I'm going to show her the Russian defense. She's one of those players for whom I'm going to show, the Russian defense. There are only one or two more feedback slides screenshots, and after that I'm going to show you the Russian defense. But Nidhi, your opponent, who is Mohit Patil, after a long pause, he was happy because he was able to defeat you with this easy trick. He played bishop takes a7 and spot the red arrow. That's the threat. But you did not see this, Nidhi. You played the move d6. You played d6. Unbelievable. Okay. So, very important. Nidhi, watch out for this. And a round of applause for Omkar sir, the way he checkmated Datta. Okay. Datta again, the king's messy position continues, but somehow this is kind of smothered, made the pawn on h is pinned. Sorry, a file. Pawn on a7 is pinned. Beautiful by Omkar sir. What a checkmate pattern this is. Knight b6 check. The king is nowhere to go. Datta gets this feedback every other Sunday, I believe, about the king being in a very bad shape. But of course, what is important, juniors, what can you observe here? There, what is important is we talked about how the juniors don't use time. For example, we saw Namis at 2 minutes 28 remaining is not even counting how many times the pieces are attacked and defended. Again, here you have a game where 2100 is playing against 2000. So two strong players, two good players of the hub playing against each other. Kindly note the time that remains. Somebody help me. Is it 6 seconds and 19 seconds? Something, help me out. I cannot see that clearly. So 6 seconds, I believe, and 19 seconds. That's probably the time left for both. This is what the juniors have to learn. So when such players play with each other, even they don't play hastily. So why do you play hastily? When you learn to use your time and make a match, come on, try to put up a fight, then you'll automatically improve. Yes, 6 seconds and 19. So that's important. So Datta is a third fellow who impressed me. Datta, Saumitra, and Samartha. They did put up a fight against Omkar sir, but yeah, that was not enough. They could have done more. His this time I think Omkar sir gave his best, his absolute best in the last Friday, the tournament last Friday. There were a couple of games that could have gone either way, but this time I think really his performance was top notch. 2189 was the performance rating. That was terrific. It's beautifully played by Omkar sir. All right, next one. That's it. So now let us go quickly to the Russian defense that I want to show. Many a players play this. Many a players from our hub do this, but they still don't know not to take the pawn on e4 immediately. Please watch this properly, guys. Russian defense is good. I mean, Vladimir Kramnik, Grandmaster Vladimir Kramnik from Russia employs this, and he is really good at that. You want to play the Petrov defense or the Russian defense, good, but then play the move d6. You immediately take the pawn on e4. Well, that's not great. Let's just know and learn how to actually execute that with the Russian thing. Okay, so the move order is e4, e5, knight to f3, and our players don't want to play the knight c6, so they say knight f6 is really fighting for black. Yes, it is. Welcome. Yes, play the Russian defense. I'm okay with that. It's a very, very refreshing thing rather than just go for the knight c6, bishop b5, whatever. But after white takes on e5, I have seen so many games in this tournament and the previous tournament. Black tries something new, but black players think that after white takes the pawn on e5, well, they should immediately take that pawn on e4. No. No. The move that follows here is d6. Then let the knight go back. Then you have to take the pawn. And then the game could go as normal. Again, if you are worried about this spin, sir, what if the queen comes to e2 and now I'm going to lose my knight? He's preparing to play d3. Well, not quite, because now you can unpin it by playing queen e7. Mind you, d5 will be a mistake. You don't want to allow white with this move d3. Now your knight is history. Now your knight is history. I'm telling you. You don't play like that. Come on. That's not fair. Okay. So this is the thing. You should play queen e7 here when he pins this knight. Queen e7. And now if white plays d3, just come back to f6. Let there be exchange of queens and black is better. Absolutely no problem. I'm sure black is okay here. See, plus 0.3. So that's not much. That's just the nominal advantage white has got at the start anyway. That's not major. Come on, that's playable. This is good for black. Please remember this. Knight takes e5, knight c6. Yeah, sure, you can try the Stafford gambit. That's what Vardhan says. That you can try. That you can try. We will. I actually want to make a video about that gambit. I will do that, or maybe I'll ask Omkar sir to cover that. It's a very nice line, guys. Knight c6. So it's a gambit. Of course, you give the pawn. What happens is you can try that. After knight takes this pawn on e5, you actually end up playing this knight to c6 move. So knight takes c6, and there is, of course, here computer suggests b takes, but you can play the line with d. The idea with the b takes is that you aim for a strong center. So you actually can play this, although it's not all that great. You can see the computer saying plus 1.5. So not recommended. Just as a surprise, maybe you can try this sometime. All right. So guys, we will have to stop for now. I will say it again that the holidays 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 will be holiday. 17 is not yet confirmed, but at least till 16 is confirmed. Okay. I'm sorry. That's confirmed. So make sure that you read the WhatsApp messages properly for the confirmation about 17. 12th until 16 is a holiday for sure. 17 I'll confirm later, and when we meet post Diwali, we will do an assessment about how we want to go with the lectures, what changes will happen, will the hub reopen in December, because then we will be just a fortnight away if the government decides that the coaching institute should reopen. We'll hope for the best. So we will have this week, I believe, until Wednesday we will meet as usual, but just keep in mind the holidays. I will definitely have the message sent on WhatsApp, no doubt about that. And thank you all for joining in. Yeah, sure. One more time I will say that you all are improving. You are playing well. But yes, there are some feedbacks that are repetitive. Avoid those things. We will now meet on Tuesday. And Tuesday is when you get to play with me. So yes, I will be there on Tuesday. And Wednesday, there will be a game as usual. So those things are going to be as usual. I believe the vacation starts for us on Thursday. Okay. Had fun. Please take care. We'll meet on Tuesday. Bye-bye.